Today, I want to talk to you for a few minutes about optimists. Optimist versus a pessimist. We can live our lives in one or two ways. One, we can be a optimistic thinker, or we can be a pessimist thinker. Either way, we are going to grow in the direction in which we think. You see, the Bible teaches us that we are who we think we are. In the first book of Genesis, God teaches us that He created us in His own image and likeness. In other words, God created us and gave us His character. And if we live in God's image and likeness and have His character, we should be able to project the image of optimist thinkers. You see, if we constantly think in optimistic terms, it begins to build a certain level of confidence within ourselves that allow us to grow in prosperity. And what is really prosperity? A lot of people will look at it and say, well, prosperity is having enough money to be able to do all the things that I desire in this life. Well, God says that prosperity is being able to be filled with love, joy, and happiness. And well, you look at it and say, well, if I don't have money, how can I be happy? Well, that's the way a pessimist will look at it. But without money, you still can live a happy, joyful, and prosperous life. Because money is only a tool to be able to obtain the necessary things that you may need to live in this life. But without an optimistic a looking forward life, you will not be able to have even that tool of money. Because living as a pessimist would live takes away the joy that allows you to grow in prosperity. It fills your life with stress, and stress leads to all kinds of physical complication, disease that will eventually destroy your physical body. But an optimistic looking forward person will fill their life with joy, sunshine, love. These are the qualities of God's character. Because you see, if God did not have those qualities from the very beginning of time, we will not be here today talking about what can and cannot be. Because God created everything that we need to survive through an optimistic outlook in life. He looked out and saw what was possible, not what was impossible. Because you see, if we think like God thinks, we can create all things God created, because we are created in His image, His likeness. And He desires for us to be co-creators with Him. And that is one of the reasons that He placed us here in this earth, in order that He might be able to use us to be able to continue to build and grow His creation. We are only an extension of who God is. And if we allow ourselves to be used by God, we can have an optimistic life. We can live in prosperity. But if we always are rejecting what God has set forth in our lives as the possibility of what can be, and looking at it as what can't be, we will live in negativity and lack for the rest of our lives, because that is what we desire. You see, all of us have been given a choice to do anything that we desire, that is created within our mindset from the very beginning of time. God placed that in us. He did it with Adam and Eve from the very beginning, when He placed the two of them into the Garden of Eden after He had created them. And He told them that there are two trees that sits in the garden. He says, but if you eat the fruit of this tree, you will not see eternity. In other words, you will die. So God gives us that same choice to make. We can choose to eat from the tree, or we can choose not to eat from the tree. If we choose not to eat from the tree, we are being obedient to God, and God will provide us with the necessary tools of life to be able to create the prosperity that we desire in this life. That is learning to live a life that is filled as an optimist. And let me just give you the dictionary meaning of optimist. The dictionary describes it in this manner. It says hopefulness and confidence about the future success or the outcome of things in life. So if you're hopeful about your future, and if you have confidence about your future and the successful looking forward, you will be able to enjoy the tendencies of all that God has provided for you. So let's learn to live in the optimist. Let's learn to look at things in the way that God looked at them and saw them as possibilities. Thank you very much. Have a blessed and prosperous day. Amen.